power to sway the Puerto Rican vote. Our Washington Bureau reporter Samantha-Jo is looking into that question, joining us live now from D.C. at 5:07. Hi, Samantha-Jo.
Well, Veronica, an endorsement as big as this one certainly could make a difference in this race. However, experts I've spoken with today say they do not believe it will turn the tide in the midterm election.
The reason that Puerto Ricans are influential in Florida politics is because it's such a closely divided state.
That we can appreciate all that you have done.
Senator Bill Nelson now has a new feather in his cap with the highly sought-after endorsement of Puerto Rican Governor Ricardo Rosselló. But will this carry the incumbent senator over the finish line?
I think people look at endorsements as a sign of momentum, potentially.
Alex Canant, a Republican strategist and former staffer on Senator Marco Rubio's presidential campaign, knows firsthand that endorsements don't always translate into wins.
I don't think anyone's ever won an election because they had the most endorsements. I mean, when Marco Rubio ran for president, we had a lot of endorsements, but it didn't do us a whole lot of good at the actual ballot box.
While Governor Rosselló has cultivated relationships with officials on both sides of the aisle, he identifies as a Democrat, which is why Canant believes the endorsement isn't surprising.
I mean, Democrats endorsing Democrats isn't really news. At the end of the day, what matters is the candidates and their message to voters.
Monday's endorsement comes on the heels of 3 recent polls that show Nelson leading Scott overall and with Hispanic voters. Could this be a sign that the race is shifting in the incumbent senator's direction?
Concluding that one endorsement would encourage an entire voting bloc to vote the same way doesn't make sense. Puerto Rican voters are not all going to vote the same way.
But with Election Day only 35 days away, experts believe what happens in this final stretch will certainly be on the minds of voters as they head to the polls.
In a race that's going to be as razor thin as the Florida Senate race is expected to be, of course, anything will help.
Well, another big question is, will this key voting bloc turn up at the polls? That is unclear, but we may get some more clarity in the next week with the voter registration deadline quickly approaching. We're live this evening on Capitol Hill. Samantha-Jo, Spectrum, BN9.